I think it'd be a big effort for Tony McGuinness to come straight back in, and I think the Crows have done the right thing there, and it'll be great to see him when he does get a chance, as we see Modra and Craig Kelly, both with gloves on, but let's hope McGuinness goes well when he gets on the ground.
Crows to the left, Collingwood to the right of screen. Moncourse to go against Ingerson, wins it clearly. Oh, brilliant to Williams, the give to James. What a start this will be if he can goal. Goes for it, Orchard I should say, bouncing ball. Chalmers away, out of play.
Well, he played that brilliantly, Brett Chalmers. It was terrific work with the body. He didn't give away a free kick, which the Magpie fans called for, but boy, what a start to the Magpies, and they're going to have to counter the Monkhurst's dominance in those bounce downs.
Chalmers again did well against Rocker that time. McDermott up and under. Out 250, Monkhurst again. Little give okay. Orchard. Buckley, normally very constructive. This is another one. Finds his target. Liddell on to Hassel, just inside 50. Good kick, Hassel. Right to the goals. Well done again by Chalmers. 3 out of 3 for him so far tonight. Inside a minute, the Magpies get the first behind.
Well, there's Tony McGuinness just waiting for the pace to come off the game. Often when a player comes back from a knee injury, it's a tactic used by all medical staff just to let the pace go. Hassel just there lining up for goal. Something that Andrew McLeod will just have to learn. A little bit more defence, common for young players.
The kick in, knocked away by Ben Hart, back towards the centre of the ground. The Crows a chance to go forward here. Anderson quickly onto his left foot. We've become accustomed to that. At half forward, Pesh couldn't take the mark. In goes McLeod, gets it to Pesh. Pesh to Tregenza. Tregenza out wide to Anderson. The hand pass went behind, and Collingwood will clear. Krasiska gets the ball across to Butcher. Butcher in turn to Russell, and the Magpies are away. Russell's kick is pretty good, and he finds Liddell. He's been asked to play on. Good pressure applied by Smart, but there's an excellent mark taken by Rowe on centre wing for the Magpies. Brad Rowe, his high kick towards centre half forward. The marking contest, the ball hits the ground. Bickley and Orchard. Bickley goes after it again, but can't control it. Boundary throw in 50 metres from the Collingwood goal. The bench there for Adelaide as selected. McGuinness, Gerard has already spoken about, Wiedemann and Kluzek. Boundary throw in, Monkhurst in front. Goes past Connell. Chance there for young Edwards. And the umpire, very, very close to the scene here, has called for a bounce. Plenty of Collingwood fans in the crowd. They're scattered wide here at the MCG, and a very, very nice evening for football here. Monkhurst goes for goal. Damien Monkhurst gets the first goal of the night. Collingwood 1-1, lead the Crows yet to score.
Well, horror start for Robert Shaw, because this would have been one of his major concerns coming into the ground, just how they could counter the dominance and the strength of the big Damien Monkhurst. Ingerson had a very good game last week and has been in good form in the SANFL prior to that. But Monkhurst has just started this game with a fly.
7-0. Monkey with the first goal. Ingerson ineffective. Russell out of the centre. Collingwood going well early. Good grab in the front by Brereton.
Patterson, is it?
Yeah, from Norwood. At about 60 metres. Goes to the pocket. Rocker's got it.
Well, it was a pretty good lead and a very good kick to set Sav Rocker up for his first shot at goal. Just goes to show he's not an experienced player, only 60-odd games of footy. So he's got his best football ahead of him.
Looks good off the boot as a goal. Well, a flying start now for Collingwood. 2-1-13, Adelaide yet to score.
And we'll just see this process go again. You're right, Bruce, and really the Crows haven't got the ball into their 50-metre arc yet, so they were going to have to just settle down, work the ball out of the centre, try and just counter the dominance of Monkhurst, bring the ball to the ground and let their ground players get into it.
Well, it's imperative that the Crows hold the Magpies up. They've got the ball out of the centre 3 times, Collingwood. Chance again here, Williams, off the left foot. Williams, beautiful pass. That is magnificent. There was no way known that that was going to be intercepted, and Rocker has a chance for his second goal within a minute. Gee, the skill of today's players off the what we call their unnatural side. That was a beautiful kick by Paul Williams. An exciting player in the middle of the ground for the Magpies. Rocker will kick from about 45 metres. Beautiful kick again. Second goal to Rocker, third goal to Collingwood. Collingwood 19. The Crows yet to score.
Well, somebody's going to have to take responsibility for Williams, because he is just dominating out of the middle. I think he's on Andrew Jarman, and both players are playing positive football, but it's all going one way at the present time, so Andrew Jarman will just have to be man up on him a little bit and take responsibility until they settle down and get into this game.
Fantastic start for Collingwood and Paul Williams, Rocker and Monkhorst. Monkhorst again, Anderson, James, again Collingwood. Patterson goes for it hard, with him is Bickley. Jamison, who's got the job on Brereton, kicks up to half forward. Attacking at Hassel, and out of play.
Well, incredibly, at the centre bounce, Jarman started on the other side of the bounce to Paul Williams. All the young boys on the bench there for Collingwood, but I just think when a side has kicked 3 goals, it's considered a run on, and you've just got to go man on man. Richardson,
Burns and Aaron James, the men on the bench. McDermott got it to Robram. Now Butcher on the left, gets to Monkhorst. Centre wing, high ball. Just sort of sets it up. Brereton in the front spot, Jamison at the back. Here's Connell, who's had more kicks than anyone else in the comp. That's not one that should be given to him. Rowe cuts it off. Rocker leads, trying to cut it off again. The Crows. Now Chalmers comes away and goes out to centre wing. McDermott goes high, couldn't hold it. Brett James was going to give it away to Williams, then didn't quite, then a poor kick, a wasted opportunity. Rowe onto it, goes back to Buckley. Buckley to Brereton, ridden into the ground, play on call. Now he's going to get a free kick. It's got a long time to make the decision. Rowan soars, but Brereton's getting it.
Well, there wasn't much doubt about that one.
Just one for the trivia buffs. He's playing his 8th game for Collingwood tonight. That's one more than he managed in a whole season last year at Sydney. It's been a good effort by Brereton in 1995. Not a complete resurrection, but not bad. And that helps, doesn't it? Four goals, 1-2, no score.
Well, it's important that when you are tackling from behind that you just try and twist the body, because you're just falling into the umpire's hands by not letting him have an out. He realised that it wasn't too bad a tackle, that the player fell forward. But if you just don't twist the body, you're going to be penalised.
It's a great start by the Magpies. They've kicked 4-1 Adelaide. Well, they haven't got into their attacking half, and they won't for a little while yet either. Collingwood go up towards full forward. Knocked forward by Rocker. Patterson, snapshot for goal. They've got another one. 5 goals, 1 Collingwood. Sensational football by the Magpies. They're on fire, but one wonders what the Crows are going to do.
Well, Robbo, one of the basic tenos of AFL football is if a side gets a couple of quick goals in a row, you man up in the middle of the ground. Now, it's just not happening for the Crows, and with Monkhorst's dominance, they're just taking it out easily.
Too easy.
5-1 Collingwood. Now McDermott has called Robin into the centre square to take the place of Ingerson. And he's got to get his hand on the foot. He gives it to Connell. Connell kicks it still inside the 50. Ingerson, Krasiska, McLeod. Adelaide go forward, McLeod to full forward, Rashudo with Richardson, chance for Modric, Kelly missed it off the ground, he's great at those, he's got it. He is a freak at those off the ground. Mistake, little one maybe by Kelly overrunning it.
Yeah, you'd be a pretty hard judge, but I guess you just not allowed to let the ball get behind you. As you just see there, Kelly going with a boot rather than putting his hands over. But the classic thing there was, Robbo, that the Crows did man up in the middle. We spoke about a couple of goals ago. When there's a run on, it's a must-do.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, Jared. The bounce at the centre, knocked forward by Monkhorst, nearly to centre-half forward, taken by Jamison. Back towards the centre, Watson leaves it behind. McLeod, those hand passes, they've got to be a little bit more accurate. Connells gathers the ball, back onto his right foot. He kicks blindly towards full forward. Didn't really give the full forward much chance. Kicked it for Kelly's advantage. Kelly's able to knock it forward of himself. And a boundary throw in left forward pocket for the Crows, about 45 metres around from their goal.
And old Ned certainly made sure he bent over and got the hands on that one, Robbo.
Yes, it was in much the same position that controversial free kick was given against young Jeff Bruce, the Fitzroy boy, last week. Collingwood 5 centre clearances to 2 for the Crows. Jarman getting into the action, can't clear the pack. McDermott back to Ben Hart. Ben Hart's kick to the pocket. Goes over the 100-gamer Alan Richardson. Knocked back towards half-back. Hassel. Hand passes further forward for Williams. Williams close to the boundary line. His kick is too high for the players down here in front of us. That's Chad Liddell and Anderson. Liddell off the ground. Oh, he was a bit fortunate. But maybe he meant it. Give him the benefit of the doubt. He gets it about 30 metres closer to the Collingwood goal, and the boundary umpire will throw it in.
31-6. Brereton and Jamison on screen. Brereton with an early goal. Matthew Robin, Damien Monkhorst. He's really blossomed, hasn't he, Monkhorst, into one of the outstanding big men in the game. Jarman got a high one, he'll get a free. He'll be disappointed with his start tonight, Jarman. Unable to do anything in the centre square, having such a fine season though. McDermott gets hold of it. The handball very slow. Connell's got it again, he put him under pressure. Missed by Edwards, well done Wellman. Pesh, back to Wellman. Wellman squeezed it around. Ingerson, good stretch actually. Snare by Pesh, brilliant. The little rover at 60. Neat kick to full forward. Rashuto, well played Kelly. There's a big thump. Tregenza. Watson over the top. Wright was in there. McLeod did all right. Robran.
Had to be fair.
Looked a high tackle, didn't it? Now Tregenza chips away in the Modra direction. Kelly with him. Good contest. Richardson snared it well. Kicks it neatly to Russell. Half volley. He's got time to steady and bounce and run away. Loves this scenario, doesn't he?
Will run outside 50 metres. In support was Krasiska. Again the hand pass for Wright. Back to Krasiska. Nearly intercepted. Able to get it wider still. Watson bombs away. And it's safely held by Nigel Smart. He gets the hand pass to Chalmers. Chalmers, the rebound footy may work for the Crows. Wellman's got a little bit of space in front of himself. He could have taken the bounce. He goes in short. And I don't quite know whether he meant that, but it's landed on the chest of McLeod. McLeod is wide of centre-half forward. He kicks in short. Too short. And chipping in is Butcher. Butcher marks for Collingwood.
Robert Shaw's just pushed Nigel Smart down as a loose man in defence. He's done that by getting Greg Anderson to come down and pick his man up, who is Chad Liddell.
Russell in towards the centre. Johnny Hassel straight down the ground. A 45-metre kick towards full forward. It's punched away by the Crows' defence. Liddell again. A sweeping hand pass finds Williams. Williams to the front of the square, chipping in and holding it up nicely again was Nigel Smart. Short pass and he finds Connell. Connell in the left back pocket for Adelaide, still in Collingwood's 50-metre area.
Matthew Robram's run into about 30 metres away, and Greg Anderson's looking for a longer target, but there's no big man available.
Mark nearly taken there by Ben Hart, gathered by James. It's Brett James, away to Rowe. Rowe a flying shot at goal, and it's way offline. It's out of bounds on the full free kick to Adelaide, and it'll be taken in their left back pocket. That's Brad Rowe there in picture. The free kick will be taken back there by the birthday boy, Rod Jamison, who is 25 today. And what a consistent player he's been for the Crows.
And versatile, Robbo. Leading goal kicker in that opening season. One short of 50. Smart back to Jamison. Now he's run out of options here. He's got to kick it along. Jarman. Patterson with him. Still Patterson. Tregenza just held him up. White went to ground. Jarman with an opportunity. Clever hands as always to Ben Hart through the centre. Crows have just steadied. Ingerson, they gave 5-goal start, but remember the Saints jumped Collingwood here a couple of weeks ago. Ingerson to Modra in the pocket. Reasonable flight. They're feeding off him pretty well. Good hands by Watson. Kelly's slow old handball was okay. Got to Hassel. Hassel at half-back to centre wing. Good kick to Brereton. Collingwood playing confidently.
And Brereton's in that position because he's about to be interchanged with Mark Richardson.
Not a good kick. It'll just hug the line, and Buckley unable to take the mark, but Collingwood will be happy with the result. And as Gerard said, Dermott off, taking a message from Lee Matthews, and Mark Richardson on. Now the odds tonight, Collingwood 6-4 on One National Sportsbook, Adelaide 10-9. That's pretty close to an even money bet for both teams.
And fairly so. Andrew Jarman kicks the ball back towards the centre. The bounce favours McLeod onto the left foot. He kicks to the front of the goals again, and the mark has been taken by Rashido. No, free kick. Well, that's a great example of the third umpire. He was beautifully adjacent to that contest, and he's picked the free kick out, and it will go to Alan Richardson. Richardson goes short. Liddell, Anderson makes a good contest, goes after it again. Well done by Greg Anderson. But unfortunately for the Crows, Chris Siska chips in and marks on his chest at centre-half back for the Magpies.
Well, when a side has got a loose man in defence, as obviously Collingwood has now because of Nigel Smart being the loose man for the Crows in defence, you've just got to make sure you pass into the forward line at pinpoint, because if the ball goes to ground, you're going to be outnumbered every time.
Oh, good effort by Modra. Great effort not to give a free kick away, but then threw it to Jarman and was pinged. Richardson, this is Mark Richardson from half-back. Kick to centre wing, Rowe went early, Tyson Edwards, who looks promising, a rookie, to McDermott. McDermott's kick to centre half forward, not good. And again, they're falling down there. Butcher takes a long time, gets tackled. Connell bangs it back to centre half forward. McLeod has to go. The big monkey drops it, but then got held on to and gets a free kick. Don't know if Jarman heard it, it's 50 metres against him.
Well, Jarman's been pushed out of the centre of the ground. Connell's now got responsibility for Paul Williams, and perhaps he's just showing a little bit of frustration there. It's often difficult when you've got the back to the play, or the back to the umpire that pays the free kick, to judge whether the free kick's been given. I mean, 90% of the time, I guess you'd know, but you've got to take the punt and go to him, Gerard.
Moncourse to fall forward. Oh, this is going to hurt, isn't it? Rocker's got it. And they've been dominating, haven't they? Moncourse early, and now Rocker. Williams, of course, early. Going for his third goal, Rocker. So often starts a game very well. He kicked 9 on this ground against Essendon. That classic, that's a great kick. The big Sav is on 49 goals for the year.
And he started very well, obviously. Well, at this stage, I don't think there's much point in having Tony McGuinness on the bench for much longer. He's the captain of the club, and I'd have him on the ground. There are probably medical and fitness reasons while he's still on the bench, but if he's going to play, I think now's as good a time as any to introduce him to the game.
Yes, that scoreboard there is accurate. Collingwood 6-1. Crows a goal. They get away from the centre again, the Pies. Williams to full forward. Rocker had his hands on it. Got it back, but only as far as Nigel Smart. He runs away from half-back. He's been forced to kick wide, not wide enough. Chipping in his right, but wasn't favoured by the bounce. Tregenza, awkward bouncing style, but it's effective. He's run nearly to half-forward. His kick will land up to full forward. Oh, good stuff by Kelly. In front. Gave the hand pass away. James, it's Brett James, to Alan Richardson. Richardson's short kick has been marked by Wright. Wright's long hand pass. Butcher running from centre-half back towards the centre. Kicks to half-forward. Punched away there from Brad Rowe. Jarman is there for the Crows. sizes it up to Robran. Back in towards the centre, McDermott. McDermott runs down near centre forward, and that was fairly intelligent by McDermott. Wide to Pesh. Pesh's kick has got penetration, but it hasn't quite got the accuracy that he was looking for, and it's a behind to Adelaide, kicked by Nick Pesh. The Crows bench, as is from the start of the game.
Jarman's moved back into the middle. They are playing a long way away from each other. Williams is just covering that little bit more territory than Andrew Jarman at the present time. I still maintain that Tony McGuinness would be better off on the ground as captain.
Russell gets it short from Kelly. Then wide for Butcher. He's got enough time. And then chips it short and gets to Nathan Buckley. Running into form, Buckley. Good kick to Watson. Holes everywhere for Collingwood. Again, a great looking kick to centre half forward. Richardson had a fair serve of it. Rocker, well played. Back to Russell. Russell on the left. Smart, who's had a lot of touches in the first quarter, playing on his own across half back now. Gets it to Tregenza. As Robbo said, he's got that awkward bouncing style. He's had a good month, Tregenza. That kick towards centre half forward, but Collingwood in front as they've been all night. And Richardson on Rashuto takes the mark. So Kelly and Richardson playing well on the key forwards by playing in front. Just gives it off to Wright. Wright can size it up. Just decides to bang it in high and hope that Liddell will take a mark. Jarman wobbles it back to centre half forward. Ingerson attacked well. Modra half volley good. Kick out wide. Chance now for Rashuto if it sits. Steadies, goes for it and hits the post.
It was good vision there by Tony Modra and a late change of mind, I think, just to poke the ball out to set Rashuto up for goal. Unfortunately, they didn't cap it off with a major.
Kelly doing a good job for the Magpies at fullback, playing on Tony Modra at this stage. Scoreline, Collingwood 6-1, Adelaide 1-2. Kelly kicks in. Could have nearly been paid, but Collingwood under pressure through Watson. Get it back towards the centre. Rowe again, bouncing off the ground, but Williams to gather the crumbs. Williams off the left foot. Kicks it to full forward. Well done, Rocker. That's a mark. Chalmers not too happy.
And I think he's got every justification, Robbo. That third bite, I think, may have hit the deck. Here he is again, the man of the moment, Paul Williams, who's just exploding this game apart. 1-2. Well, no mark for mine, but he's got it paid anyway.
Well, he could have the perfect situation here, Severio Rocker. He could have 4 kicks for 4 goals. And we've got 4.5 minutes left until quarter time. And of course, if he kicks accurately, which he has, it's his 50th goal for the year. Four individual goals to Severio Rocker. Collingwood 7-1, Adelaide 1-2.
Well, I think something has to be done about Paul Williams. No doubt about keeping Andrew Jarman in the centre of the ground. It's been one of their mainstays all season, but I think the Crows are going to have to sacrifice one of their on-ballers and just tag him for the next few quarters.
Williams in sparkling form. Nigel Smart's moved on to Rocker. Rocker with 4 goals. 7-1 to 1-2. Rodman wins it, but straight down to Buckley. He's a thumping kick. Rocker with 2 against him. That's a big compliment. Anderson back to Nigel Smart. Should chip it across to Connell. Rowe came in hard on Edwards. Good kick by Smart. Here's Connell. Gives it now to Wellman inside. Wellman a dasher at centre wing. Up towards half forward. McLeod, one hand, but again Butcher able to come away. Collingwood rebounding off half back. Well played by Wellman. Wellman's kicked to centre half forward. Poor. Marked by Watson. Crows not going well into attack. Kick by Hassel. Right. It's exciting to watch. Kelly got rid of Anderson. He does love to really let them know when he's playing against Adelaide, Craig Kelly, the former Norwood boy.
He was pumped up, Bruce, when he ran onto the ground. You could see that he meant business here, playing against some of his probably ex-teammates and opponents in Adelaide.
missed 3 games, Kelly, just like the Blackies on Modra, so he hasn't played for a while. Pesh, Modra, recovered, well done actually. He has a lot of skill, got it to Rashuto. Jarman in the goal square, now leads. Rashuto's kick not good.
That's the difference. Collingwood are hitting targets, handball and foot passing. The Crows are just giving it up. Krasiska takes the hand pass and then kicks to Watson. They just seem to be able to make plenty of space, the Pies. Watson short kick into the centre, taken by Graham Wright. He runs past and then kicks high. Probably not what the full forward wants. Oh, jumping high, but it rebounds to Patterson. There's a player in the pocket on his own, it's Hassel. And does he cover some territory? He's playing in defence and he's going to have a shot for goal. No, he's not. He's going to short pass it to Russell. He improves the angle. Not that much closer. But certainly Scott Russell can get Collingwood's 8th goal with 2.5 minutes left in the term. Russell runs out to the right, kicks long and scores a goal. Well, this is a procession. 8 goals won to 1-2.
And good to see Scott Russell in an attacking role. He did that in the last quarter last week. He started on the half-forward flank, probably getting a run in the middle as a ruck rover this evening. And he's doing very well. That's a good way to start the quarter with a goal. Or finish the quarter, in fact.
Rashuto and Bickley in the centre square now for Adelaide. 8-1 to 1-2. Hoping they can win the footy. Bickley does immediately. Watson underneath it. Couldn't take it. Hassel again. Williams gives it up. Chance for Ben Hart onto it. Kelly attacks strongly. Wonderfully, Kelly. Hassel gets it. Got it from Richardson in the end. Goes to centre wing. Well played by Edwards. Gave Robin the run of it. Robin over the top of it. Rowe tries to worry him. Tregenza's back turn. Back to young Edwards. Edwards at centre wing. Well, Hassel's all on his own. He was on his own at the other end of the ground a minute ago, and he's on his own in the back pocket now. 8-1 Collingwood, 1-2 Adelaide. Kicks to Watson.
9 possessions, Hassel.
Watson kicks to Butcher. Butcher kicks it out wide. Williams will run it down. He's having a season, he's having a quarter. He might take Connell on. He centres it very well to Patterson in the front spot. Over the top, missed that time by Rocker. What a quarter he's had. Chalmers bangs it back to centre half forward. Ingerson and Krasiska. Krasiska did well. Down to Hassel. Hassel away again.
And Hassel kicks it across the half-back line. Butcher leads in the race. Trying to run him down as Pesh. Holding the man, is it? No, play on, and the advantage is with Collingwood. Russell, a high kick in towards centre half forward. The contest, Patterson was in front, couldn't take the mark. Oh, down goes James. A very, very good clash there. Anderson's handball missed the target. Might sound a bit monotonous that the Crows have certainly been offline. McDermott's kick, that's offline as well. Butcher will clean up, gets it to Watson. There's the difference, the efficiency of the Magpies. Watson's kick to half forward. It's punched back by the Crows. Rashuto's in trouble. Tackled by Russell was good. Umpire will bounce. And the Magpie fans screaming for maybe a holding the ball incident. But the umpire on this occasion, Jeff Caulfield, will bounce. Well, he won't get the chance to bounce because the siren has sounded. It's quarter time at the MCG. And those cheers would all be from Collingwood fans because their team has been quite sensational in the first quarter. They've kicked 8-1-49 and Adelaide 1-2-8.
And I'm sure that Lee Matthews would have identified the fact that they're playing McDermott and Jarman in the middle of the ground. He's just thrown all the quicks in he possibly can into the centre of the ground. And with the dominance of Big Damien Moncourse, they're really just getting a fly from the middle of the ground. I think really the only thing that the Crows can do is just to regroup at quarter time, perhaps go back to a man-on-man situation, abandon the loose man in defence, because really Collingwood are starting many of their offensive moves from the half-back line.
And also, it's probably due to the fact that the boys that are streaming forward in the Crows' jumpers are kicking blindly, and they're just setting it up for those defenders. If they were accurate, then Collingwood might pay for it.
Quarter time at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The Maggies by 41 points, 8-1 to 1-2. 1-1 to a quarter time on Friday night football at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Collingwood by 41 points. Robran and Moncourse. Moncourse easily to Buckley with a high ball, almost at 50, gets such distance under pressure, and that's a very, very good mark by Connell. Under pressure himself. He's had a terrific year, more kicks than anyone else in the competition. Goes out wide to Anderson. Anderson would have a bit of memories of playing against Collingwood for Essendon on this ground. In that grand final in 1990, Buckley again bangs it back in, gets to 50. Richardson, that's Mark, gets it out wide. Rowe and Edwards. Rowe goes to ground, gets it back though. Here's Patterson at about 55. Centering kick, Brereton caught underneath it, did very well though. Now Smart under pressure, runs away, needs a bounce. Oh, ran a long way, got away. Edwards, good handball. He is a promising young colt. Gets it to Smart, under pressure, kicks it close to the line, just bouncing in and out of play. Poor old Adelaide, they do seem rattled at the moment.
Well, that's one of the great risks of running with the ball and taking a bounce, is that eventually you get yourself into trouble because all options up the ground are covered, and you end up having to kick the mongrel forward to no one.
Well done by Matthew Robran. He got his left hand to it, over and above Moncourse. The Crows couldn't break clear, and the boundary umpire will throw it in once again.
What about Bickley, Robbo? Wouldn't he be the best bloke for Williams right at the moment?
Well, we were talking about that at quarter time, Jared, and he was a tremendous player for the Crows in 1993. Unfortunately had an injury last year, and maybe it's about time they put him back in the middle of the ground where all the action is, because he certainly is a great player. There's David Cloak, one of the all-time superstars of Australian rules football, 300 games plus. With one of these sides, he played a lot of his football. That was the Magpies.
In fact, they have made a change onto Williams. It's Ben Hart's gone onto him, and Bickley's now on Nathan Buckley.
McDermott has the football on centre wing, outer side of the ground. Crows 1-2, trailing Collingwood 8-1. McDermott has to kick high to half forward, punched away quite straightforwardly there by Krasiska. And if you go into the forward line like that, you won't score many goals. Moncourse, number 1 there for the Magpies. Matthew Robran at the back, Ingerson in front, at least kept it in the area. Moncourse tackled by Bickley, Robran leaves it behind. Jarman clever, back to McDermott. McDermott across his left shoulder to centre half forward, good mark. Well done by Rashudo. He's a good colt, and he's marked the ball about 35 to 40 metres out directly in front.
Oh, it's a great mark out in front. Good little look there from McDermott, just popped it up in the air, trying to put it to the advantage for his teammate Rashudo, and he didn't let him down. He's got to kick this one.
Well, he is a beautiful kick of the football. One wonders about the accuracy. Just off to the right. Scores only a behind. The big L, and that's Alan McAllister, of course, and Graham Allen in their customary positions on the boundary line. Kelly
goes short, had a couple of options. Paul Williams just brilliant in the opening term. 7 kicks so far. Krasiska to Moncourse. It's going to be paid. Kluzek on the ground as well. So Moncourse at half forward right, centering kick. Rocker and Brereton, the Twin Peaks. Rocker's got it. Really unopposed in the end. Not an Adelaide arm near the footy or near Rocker's big paws.
Isn't Damien Moncourse having a superb month of football also? He killed them against St Kilda here a few weeks ago. Very good state game, and obviously one of the better players on the ground tonight.
Brereton doing a good job there. He just stopped Smart's run, gave Rocker a free path. He's kicked 4 out of 4 and gave that a little push to the right for behind. 50 goals for the season, as Robbo told us in the opening term for Rocker. So he joins Ablett. They're the two that have got to the half-century so far. Jamison, 25 today, 8-2-1-3.
Damien Moncourse to be a bit of a dark horse, wouldn't he, for the Brownlow? He's a good player.
He is. Excellent player.
Oh, he's a great player, I reckon.
He has been up and down a little bit with form this year. He lost definitely 7 kilograms in 1 week. with a bit of an illness, but he's back to his best at the moment.
Jamison's kick in found McDermott. McDermott goes down the line there and finds Ingerson.
Did get suspended, I'm pretty sure.
Did he? Well, he's got no hope, did Bruce? The kick to the wing, Anderson. And he's going to get a free kick, Greg Anderson. Rather crude attack on the ball there by his Collingwood opponent. And Anderson kicks to half forward. Punched away by Monkhorst. Oh, good punch too. Clears the line. Throw in left half forward for the Crows. What about the fella there, the blonde-headed bloke? I'd throw him into the fray too. He's all right, isn't he? Bit of action.
The weed.
Might be what they need, Bruce.
You're talking about. Haven't looked in the sky. Not sure if it's a full moon or not. 8-2 to 1-3. 50-9. He certainly gets into it, the weed. Kick up the half forward. Well played by Hassel. Jarman held him up. Butcher, Robran claims him. They've got him, the Crows. Free kick. Jarman or Robran, take your pick. Jars is going to take it. He's never been slow to walk forward, though he had to give it to Robran, back to Jarman. Jarman goes to full forward. Modra. Kelly, who had an outstanding opening term. McLeod just has a little bit extra, McLeod, hasn't he? I know he's very early in his career, the 18-year-old, but you just feel that he's got something special. Crow supporters, they're outnumbered here tonight, as you'd expect. Rugging up. It's expected to get down to 7. Monkhorst thumps it away. Buckley, courageous. In the path of Brett James. A little give to Williams. Not a good handle. Williams gets back. Well done to Hassel. Hassel off one leg, gets it to centre wing. Mark Richardson had a fair bit of it. Patterson's hands were terrific. To Russell, to Rowe. The Collingwood build-up's impressive. Rowe with 2 bounces. Gets to 50, bangs it high. Rocker versus Jamison. Jamison punches away into the pocket. Rowe attacks it. And is no, it's out of play, I'm sure.
Nigel Smart's gone out to centre half back. I think it's a better move, Robbo. You'd want one of your most attacking defenders. You don't want him deep in defence out on that half back line so he can run down and perhaps set up some goals.
Well, the Collingwood fans not happy. They thought it was a goal to their side, but the boundary umpire signalled that it had gone over the line. Throw in, Patterson. Wellman, was that too high? Patterson's free kick. Gone down. Now Nigel Smart is having a little bit to say there. Scott Russell. But the free kick is with Stephen Patterson. He's already kicked 1 goal. And you would think he could get his 2nd goal from this kick because he's only about 25 metres out. Very slight angle. Going for Collingwood's first goal of the 2nd term, and he's made no mistake with that kick. So Patterson gets his 2nd goal, and Collingwood get their 9th. The Magpie fans plenty to scream about. They're 9-2, Adelaide 1-3.
Let's just have another look at the free here. Patterson just ducking around, and Wellman with a bit of a loose arm took him too high. Wasn't much in it, Robbo, but it was there.
9-2, 1-3, 56-9. Patterson with a couple.
And the weed is on the ground for you, Bruce. Ingerson off.
Robran sits underneath it, takes it out of the air, ran into Ben Hart, actually got it to McDermott. McDermott to full forward, Rasciuto. Couldn't quite that time. Kelly was there, Jarman's hands, but this time Butcher. Left-hand handball to Richardson in his 100th. What a great effort that is by Alan Richardson. He's stuck and stuck and stuck at the club. Williams couldn't take that one. Ben Hart on the left foot, out of bounds on the full. Well, he doesn't make too many errors like that, Ben Hart. 9-2, 1-3. Butcher. Out to half-back. Punch back by Richardson. To Monkhorst. Sweeping handball to right. Had to sit under it. Chopped off by Kluzek. Tragenta. McDermott. Back to Anderson. He is a left footer. He'll need room. Couldn't quite squeeze it out. Adelaide really struggling when they go forward. They got in the road of one another, centre half forward. And in the end, Anderson was forced to kick in a cramped position when attacking the goal front and pushed it out of bounds. It's 47 points, Collingwood in front.
Halfway through the second term, the Magpies, Johnny Hassel knocks it, but Alan Richardson, not much he can do there. Boundary throw in about 45, maybe 40 metres from the Crows' goal. Wiedemann on the ground. 1-3 Adelaide, 9-2 Collingwood. Rashudo, Brett James, Watson. Not a bad little kick there by Shane Watson. Wasn't much he could do, that little left footer. Got the ball about a kick and a half away from the Crows' goal. Ruckman to contest Damien Monkhorst. And Robrin. Ball spills for Rashudo. Tackle on Richardson. Rebounds there for Jarman. Jarman's kick towards full forward. Kelly attacks. Strong. McLeod, was he held? Didn't have it. Play on. Kelly knocks it clear. Hassel. Monkhorst on further to Richardson. Collingwood composed. It may rebound back for the Crows though. Rashudo's left foot kick slews off the side of his boot and has been marked by Graham Wright.
At centre half back, good handball to Butcher running through the centre. Butcher's low under Rocker. That's fantastic football, Collingwood.
This side really is working to the master plan of Lee Matthews. He's spent a lot of time trying to construct a side that will give them plenty of run out of defence, getting the ball pretty well directly to the forward line, and that's just exactly how it's done. Ball started from a pretty poor kick from Rashudo. Graham Wright, rather than going wide, he went up the middle of the ground where Butcher was on the burst.
Wasn't it a great catch, a great mark by Rocker? 4 goals tonight so far. Missed his last one, but he's a magnificent kid. He's normally so accurate. He's got it. Well, it's becoming a procession, all right. 10-1, can you believe it? So much at stake for both teams.
Yeah, just have a look at the way Rocker actually takes away the hands of Jamison there. Just turns his body, pushes the way the only way that Jamison can spoil was with the hand. He just knocks it away, ends up taking a good chest mark.
Well, that man there would be pleased with Severio Rocker. He's kicked 5 goals. We've still got 12 minutes left in the first half. Collingwood lead by 53 points. It's a absolute birthday for the Magpies. Put some pressure on Crows. Here goes McDermott, straight down the ground. It'll land in the square. Modra at the back, but Kelly in front. And he was grabbed. Didn't have the football. Kelly's free kick.
Strangely enough, Tony Modra didn't even lead on that occasion. He didn't give an option for McDermott. Let the blast away.
Kelly kicks outside 50 metres in the direction of Monkhorst. The ball spills for Hassel. Williams leaves it behind. Ben Hart. Short kick is all right. Anderson takes. No, he doesn't take the mark. Went at it one-handed. Robin back to Anderson. Anderson kicks to the square. Wrestling, Kelly will win. He's stronger. He must get out in front, Tony. Obviously lacking in confidence. Robert Shaw. Strength work of Craig Kelly. Quite prepared to give up a behind. And now he kicks it in. There's a player on his own again. Have a look at this for Siska. 50 metres from goal. He's taken an easy mark on his chest.
Having an outstanding season. Looks so fit this year and playing very well in key defensive roles. Mark Richardson went to ground and out of play.
Probably his best year since their flag winning year when he was a ruck rover. He's had plenty of injuries over the last few years, but this is a very good year for him.
Saw Mark Richardson on screen. He's struggled to hold his place in this lineup. Buckley, brilliant. Long kick to full forward. Jamison with a chance. Caught by Rocker. Handball just to Wellman and then Rowe. And is that going to be a throw-in? Jamison, I'm not sure. He must have thought it came off Rowe for out on the full, but boundary umpire disagreeing. Collingwood so quick to get the ball deep into attack tonight. Their rebound has been outstanding. Here's Brereton, still with the kid, turns around, hooks it back and just misses. But you've got to ask the question, 10-3 to 1-4. It was a big turning arc. He took a long time to get around and not one effective tackle on him.
I was thinking the same thing, Bruce. There wasn't much pressure on there.
Rebounds back for McDermott. McDermott to Nigel Smart. Smart's high kick wide to right half forward. Wiedemann behind, but a good mark for Siska. Terrific play across the half back line.
Just worked his way to the front there, Gavin, for Siska.
Gets good distance down towards the wing. Brereton up high, couldn't take the mark. Brilliantly rode by Buckley. Buckley kicks high, in towards centre half forward. Out comes Rocker. The spill is for Brad Rowe. Chased by Edwards. Falls over at the critical stage. In goes Patterson, but well done, Edwards. Oh, come on, you've been conned. Absolutely conned, Gavin Dorr, by the crowd. The young fella was terrific in the contest, and he's given a free kick for deliberate out of bounds. Patterson with the ball. Goes short. Rocker. 30 metres out. Now the young fellow was under a bit of pressure. What else?
Well, I just think that we've all year been saying that we've got to get rid of this problem of umpires not paying the marks, and we all said that they've got to pay them all. Sorry, not the marks, the deliberate, and that was no doubt deliberate.
Okay, Rocker with the ball. As I said, a difficult angle. Oh, he's made it look so simple. 6 goals to Rocker. And Collingwood have kicked their 11th. And they lead by 59 points.
It's one of those grey areas, Robbo, where what else could the young bloke have done? And I'm sure it'll be highlighted again, as was the decision last week with Richmond and Fitzroy. But if you think back 6 weeks ago when that was becoming a bit of a blight on our game with the ruck wrestles and the half-back on the boundary line throw-ins, the consensus of opinion was pay them all for 6 weeks and you'll get rid of the problem.
11 to 1. It's a 10-goal game at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Rocker's got 6. Tregenza underneath it. Moncourse, left foot. Rowe. Brereton there, tapped away by Wellman. Rowe clever to Liddell, to Russell, to right, on the left, chips away. Clever, James goes back. Patterson kicks his third. Well, we called it the terrifying treble, didn't we? Before the start of the game, this is a fair dinkum nightmare.
A nightmare? It's an absolute shocker. Craig Kelly coming off the ground, being replaced by Aaron James. Just too quick, too many runners, too much intensity at the ball, right over the ground, Collingwood. This is an embarrassment.
Kelly, there must be something wrong with that hamstring, Jared, the way he's rubbing it, because he was doing pretty well on Modra. He's now on the bench. Anderson is marked. McGuinness kicks into the pocket. Jarman on his chest. Wide, but he gives the hand pass. McDermott forced to kick quickly. Modra, Moncourse got back. Rashudo, hand pass. McLeod, snapshot by McLeod. Now, confusion there. There's no confusion. It's a behind. Kick by Andrew McLeod, and still Kelly consulting. You would think the medical staff. Alan Richardson to kick it back into play.
Goes short to Shane Watson. Back after a 1-week suspension. Little give to Russell. To centre wing. Oh, Edwards went early against Rowe. Wiedemann. Good tackle, Brereton actually. Then Tregenza. Handball. Okay. McGuinness wanted to give it off. First game for 8 weeks. Goes high. Jarman outnumbered. Caught underneath it. Moncourse couldn't hold it. McLeod. Clever. Jarman round the body. Not bad actually, but no one to give it to. Hassel's got it. Well, the Crows are just out of sorts completely here. 12 goals to 1. Watson, Krosiska. It's one of those they'd want to wind back the tape and start it all over again if they possibly could. Krosiska at half back. Good kick. Bat 60 metres to centre wing. Now the advantage is given to Brereton.
It's too late after that.
Yeah, everyone had stopped then. Brereton's little chip. Looked for right. Connell held his ground pretty well. Collingwood still. James over the top. Patterson's kick free. Tried to slap it in Russell's direction. And, Kluzek goes crashing into the fence.
Interesting to hear Neil Curley's comments at half-time, because the Adelaide Crows changed their pre-game format and came over last night, which meant the players were just sitting around all day. They certainly aren't on the ball at the moment.
Richardson and Robran. McDermott gets it to Tregenza. Simon Tregenza, 2 bounces, handball over the top. Anderson, there's an example. The intensity of Collingwood. Watson's left Tregenza with a sore body. The ball at centre-half forward for Collingwood. Aaron James dumped down there by McLeod. Through goes Wiedemann, but Krasiska is there. He's helped out by Alan Richardson, and a lovely little left foot kick finds Watson at left half back. Watson out towards the wing. The mark is taken by Liddell. How did Tregenza get over that? He's all right. Liddell looking to a short pass in towards the centre. It's going to come off. Yes, just a split second there. Got rid of McDermott. Krasiska's kick to full forward. The ball spills to the square. Rocker off the ground. Did Jamison kick it or Rocker? Look at the goal umpire. It's a Collingwood goal. Rocker has kicked 7.
I'd say Fred Fanning's just starting to get a little bit nervous, Robbo. He's got the record of 18 goals in a game. Just have a look if we don't see it. There was a great little shepherd there by James, just to allow Chad Liddell to get his ball. And is there some doubt as to who kicked that one? The umpire had no doubt. As much as we're saying that the Crows aren't playing well, Bruce, the Pies are just playing magnificent football.
Fantastic, aren't they? 13-3 to 1-5. Rocker's got 7. Gee, Rodney Jamison would be disappointed, wouldn't he, with that one? Here's Wiedemann. A high one. Modra's fly. Jarman back onto it now. Handball. Anderson really stretched him out. Hip and shoulder by Krasiska was good. A hassle. Well, Collingwood have got things to celebrate at both ends of the ground. Russell off his toe straps, that one. It's 13-3-81 to 1-5-11. Collingwood are 10th going into this game. Adelaide 7th. Collingwood have won 4 out of 12 going in. Adelaide 6 out of 12. Wright gets hold of it. This was the big one for both clubs so far this season. Well, Collingwood are making it a beauty. Krasiska to Richardson. He won't forget his 100th. To Buckley.
The Crow forwards are just allowing the Magpies to just run too easily out of defence.
Look at the space again for Watson. Handball, not good. Wright had to come back. Well played, Tregenza. Anderson's little one. Butcher all on his own. Sits and waits. He's got the big monkey out wide. Williams will go to him now. Watch this. Williams to Monkhorst, and then it'll be a Paddock. The big monkey at 60. Chips it to Rocker. He's kicked 7. Fantastic grab. It's champagne footy now. It's flowing in one direction. At the start it was to the right, and now it's to the left.
I think the Crows touched the ball in about 15 possessions there, didn't they?
I was just looking into their attacking area. There wasn't too much pressure, and you've got a feel for the defence of the Adelaide Crows, because they are under just unbelievable pressure. Here's this bloke having a big night. Marking everything in sight, kicking just about every goal. Look out, Fred.
But he's kicked more goals already than any other player between the two teams. The previous record was 6. He's got 7. Well, he's got 7 goals too. It was just a 3-quarter cheer by the Collingwood fans. So already he is the record breaker. McGuinness back on the bench between the two clubs.
You were getting a little excited there, Bruce.
Oh, I love to see
the 8th one was coming up.
Don't you love to see a great player in great form? And that's what that young man is at 21 years of age.
Jamison, it's his birthday, but you'd reckon it was Rockers. The kick in, taken by Buckley. Hand pass was blocked, but he's able to get a right hand on it. Not quite far enough. Nigel Smart, run down by Graham Wright. His kick was ineffective. Nearly tidied up by Krasiska. In goes Jarman. Can he get the hand pass cleared? Well done, Richardson held him up. And the umpire calls for a bounce.
It's just surprising, Robbo, that in such a vital game for both clubs that there hasn't been perhaps some more aggression, just to perhaps steady things down, to stem the flow a little bit.
Well, that might be a little bit too late now.
It's
As
too late
far as
now.
Adelaide is concerned. They trail by 12 goals. Andrew Jarman goes down. Can he get past? Not quite. Oh, that's a punch to the head against Andrew Jarman. You'll nearly get reported. He will. Well, Andrew, when you have a look at it, I don't think you've got much case to argue with the umpire. Russell, the recipient. Play on. Krasiska's got the ball at left half forward for Collingwood. He's kicked towards full forward. The ball hits the deck. Chance here for Liddell. Hand pass wide. Williams gets back onto his favoured right foot and bangs it through for another one. Paul Williams kicks his first goal, and the Collingwood fans,
It's Dipper's brother.
are alive and well. 14 goals for to 1-5.
And just have a look at the goal square. If we get it on picture, there it is. 2 Collingwood players. It just typifies the way that the lack of pressure, man-on-man tactics at the moment. Great goal to Williams.
77-point margin, 14-4 to 1-5. Russell. Krasiska. It's been a long time since I think anyone has seen such a one-sided contest. What's the situation with Craig Kelly, Dipper?
Bruce, Craig went into the rooms and he's obviously a bit worried about his hamstring. He's probably doing some stretches in there at the moment. And Tony McGuinness does not look good either.
Well, I reckon Kelly's done his job, don't you? He could go home now. He's done a superb job for 1.5 quarters. And surely the game is won at 88 to 11. Hate to say that about an AFL game before half
It's all
time.
over. There's no doubt about that. It's a matter of whether the Crows can just resurrect something. Get some positives out of it. It's been a debacle today.
Love to be in the room at half time, wouldn't you? Little toe poke off the ground by Bickley. Rashido attacks it. Back to McDermott. He's had a few touches, but nothing much happening. Tregenza gets hold of it, runs away, steadies. Neat looking kick to McLeod, but it was always only a 50-50 ball. Hassel ran it forward. Krasiska, Ingerson, Richardson, have a look at this. Watson, Paddock again. Wright loves to run. Away, keeps it low. Smart, gets hold of it now, runs away from Richardson, bangs away to nobody. Straight to the other Richardson, Allen. Well, just
wonder, don't you?
Butcher. Shell-shocked, aren't they, completely? Hassel. Chad Liddell. At half-back.
Krasiska, he's up there on the half-forward line trying to get another kick. Kick goes behind him and it's been marked by Buckley. Nathan Buckley looks for Rocker. The kick is magnificent. Rocker didn't quite have the pace to get to the drop of the ball. Pesh kicks to Buckley again. Buckley should kick it back to Big Sav. Sav will get anything at this stage of the game. Thump it in the air, in that direction. Rocker in front, it's punched away. Rebounds for Ben Hart, who's having a quiet one. Mind you, so are a few of his mates. Patterson's kick goes past Burke and registers a behind to Collingwood. Stephen Patterson, 3 goals, 1. Been a good support act for Rocker. He's kicked 8 goals. And we're down into the last 15 seconds of the second quarter. 7 goals, Rocker.
Good one by Orchard. Cut off that time by Pesh. Centre wing. Connell that was. Now Tregenza to centre half forward. And the siren goes. Collingwood are 13 goals in front. Rocker's got 7-2. Patterson's got 3. They led 8-1 to 1-2, and in the second quarter, Collingwood kicked 6 goals, 4 to 3 points. So whatever Robert Shaw said at quarter time obviously fell on deaf ears. And Lee Matthews, well, he couldn't believe his luck, surely. To walk across the ground at half-time with your team 13 goals in front, you'd be floating on air. Modras had 1 off the ground. He's Adelaide's only goal scorers. Talk about the old tail between your legs.
And I wouldn't think Robert Shaw would be ranting and raving at half-time. It's too late for that. He'd be just trying to start again, basically. That's all there is left to do. Perhaps the Crows can come out and win the second half on the scoreboard. The Pies are just playing fantastic football. Everybody, there would be, I wouldn't think, a winner in the man-on-man battles for the Adelaide Crows. So they've got a fair bit of thinking to do. Let's hope that they can come out and make a real game of the second half.
Well, it's one of the most remarkable scoreboards this season. Take a picture of that. 14-5 to 1-5.
Whole day sitting around doing absolutely nothing. You go star to get fat, and that's the way we're playing.
Start of the second half. Friday night football. Look at that scoreboard. 89 to 11. Rockers kick 7. Collingwood 14-5 to 1-5. Modra, the only goal scorer for the Crows at the 10-minute mark of the opening term. Hard tackle on Buckley, but when you go in hard, you've got to put a legitimate tackle on. Buckley in the centre squares had heaps of kicks. A dozen, in fact. Kicks it inside 50. Kluzak, Jamison, little one, only as far as Liddell. Handball good to Brett James. Back to Patterson, who kicked 3 to fall forward. Dermott couldn't quite hold it, then attacks it, had it for a long time. Good tackle by the Crows. Brett James, free kick to Collingwood.
Pushing it back to Burden, I think, Bruce. Just to start, the Crows wouldn't be after. Half a dozen Collingwood players have touched the ball. And not too much pressure once again after a pretty easy out of the centre.
Gerard at half-time, 58 marks to 19, 126 to 87, 68 handballs to 41, all in favour of Collingwood.
Brereton, who kicked a goal in the opening term. Got his second, and Collingwood go marching on, and you do get a feeling that they've set themselves here, Collingwood. They're not going to be satisfied by winning by 10 tonight. They really have got a chance here to do something extraordinary.
There you see the free just unfolding. There's a late shove right in the back, but that's why it's so shocking, I think, that the performance by the Crows. They set themselves, I'm sure, also for this to be the day they got the monkey off the back.
Speaking of the monkey,
he's been all over them.
15-5, 1-5.
Chalmers up against Monkhorst. Monkhorst 2 goes at it. Brereton couldn't break clear. And the umpire will bounce once again.
Where does it leave Adelaide, Bruce?
Out of the 8.
Thank you.
With a much less percentage than they had going in. They had 99 going in.
Well, I guess they've just got to make sure that they outscore Collingwood in the second half. Got a chance here, Ben Hart. Quick kick towards half forward. Knocked to the ground. Richardson nearly gets past, then kicks with the left foot. Back towards the centre of the ground. Liddell, a handball. Ben Hart again. Hand pass further forward. Pesh, Andrew Jarman. The pass is good. And the mark was taken here by Wellman. So a few positional changes by the Crows at half-time. They kicked their first goal in the first quarter.
I remember right back to round 1 when North Melbourne just pipped the Crows. Melbourne did well on the half-forward line.
Wellman's kick for goal. Looks pretty good. It's a goal. Collingwood supporters booing. Gee, they're lousy, aren't they? They still lead by 13 goals. Sean Wellman gets Adelaide's second goal for the game.
And set up pretty well. Nice kick there from Andrew Jarman. And he does know how to play full forward, Wellman. It was full forward he was playing there against North Melbourne in round 1. A surprise packet, but with that pace and pretty good kick, there's no reason he can't kick a few goals.
15-2. Crows with their second goal. Monkhorst wins it again as he's done most of the night. Tregenza, left foot to centre half forward. Robran underneath it. Krasiska with him. Richardson and Wright. So Collingwood with numbers. They've had them all night. Buckley wants it, Wright kicks it to him. Buckley's 13th kick coming up. 3 handballs. Shared the Copeland with Gavin Brown last year. On the Norwich Rising Star the year before that. Won the Magarey medal the year before that. Long kick, Tregenza underneath takes the mark.
He's an interesting case in point, Nathan Buckley. I spoke to a very influential person in Collingwood during the week who's just not as wrapped in his kicking as perhaps his reputation is. Long kick, but the accuracy sometimes lets him down.
Jarman got it to Hart, to McDermott, to Smart, to Hart again. Now caught, gone. Handball was pretty good by Hassel. Patterson's on the end of it from Rowe. Patterson to Rock, he's got it. Kick 7 to Big Sav. 53 for the season. Six times this year he's kicked more than 5. He's kicked 6 3 times. He's kicked 9 once. He's already got the record between the two clubs. He had kicked 6 going in with 7 at half time. Fantastic kick. He's kicked 8.
Well, this is just a great day coming up for, or a great evening coming up for Severio Rocker. He is going to get a very big bag of goals, and that's a spotted pass. That's the way to do it, putting it to the advantage of the full forward. Sometimes that means behind, but on that occasion it was a couple of yards out in front, and it was a beauty.
He's certainly adding to his goal-scoring percentages here at Severio Rocker. 54 goals, 18 now for the season. The Crows get the ball towards full forward. Taken by Aaron James. He's dumped. Robrin to Wellman. Wellman across his left shoulder to the square. McLeod. Kick it out of mid-air. Now he's dumped. Away from the football. Krasiska gathers and then kicks wide. And accurately. And finds Brett James. Down the ground. His kick is marked by Liddell. McDermott just a little late arriving on the scene. Liddell looks to give the hand pass. Then he's forced to kick. And in doing so, kicks high in the air. Buckley and Ben Hart. It's out on the full, so the free kick will go to Ben Hart for the Crows. One of their leading possession gatherers. There aren't too many of them. He's kicked towards half forward. Taken away from Moncourse. Pesh leaves it for McDermott. Then Nigel Smart. A high kick towards full forward. Hop under that and play fair. Aaron James does well. Watson kicks across the full back line for the safety of the boundary line, and will have a throw in 50 metres from the Crows' goal. Watson has had good possessions against his name. The Collingwood bench still not having to be worked all that hard. Robrin and Aaron James. The ball comes to the ground. Bickley, a flying shot at goal by Mark Bickley. It bounces just in front of Krasiska. He takes it over for a rush behind. Crows' scoreline still looks ordinary. Craig Kelly, we mentioned, has done his job on Tony Modra. Set it up nicely. 16-5 plays 2-6. The kick in finds Russell close to the line.
Collingwood just flooding one of the outriders there. It was 4 against 1 against Pesh. Eventually they found one of them men.
So Russell to Richardson to Butcher. Butcher then goes for distance. Great kick to Buckley. That was vision. Buckley at centre wing. Now Rocker will lead. Buckley kicks it in his direction. Rocker sets himself. Brereton tries to crash the tackle. Little one by Orchard. Here's another one. Oh, it's good stuff, isn't it? 17-2. Wouldn't Mark Orchard, a rookie, just love that, Gerard? The kid taking it from the kid and kicking a goal.
Yes, Nathan Buckley involved once again, getting plenty of possessions, having a big night. Brereton just a nice little give there. Would have liked to have burst away himself and kick it in a day when everybody's behind the pies here at the MCG.
Well, Crows fans, that score is right. Nigel Smart will kick them in towards full forward. Out in front of Modra. Hand pass, well, very ordinary. A man who hasn't played much football. In goes Robrin. Over the top was Aaron James. The ball 50 metres from the Crows' goal. The umpire will bounce. 14 minutes left in the third quarter. And the Crows bench, that's McGuinness, Wiedemann and Connell. Ruckman up high. Robrin got his left hand to it. Rebounds for Butcher. Knocked over for a throw-in. Just a little closer to the Crows' goal. It's about 40 metres around from that area. Matthew Robrin there in the picture with Damien Monkhorst. Monkhorst does well, gets the front posse. Ball comes back to Jarman. Handball. McDermott goes wider for Bickley. Bickley a flying kick. High in the air. To the front of the square. It rebounds for Brett James. Good gather. Positive football. Oh, brilliant gather by Russell. Lovely hand pass into the path of Buckley. Able to get past. And then kicks to full forward. Beautiful kick. There's plenty of space. Kick it into the square. Too slow. Ingerson got back and covered Patterson. Ingerson sweeps it out wide. In front of the members' stand. Jarman, handball over the top. Able to give Anderson the chance to run through. Anderson's kick. Not very productive there. Nigel Smart, the tackle on Butcher. And the umpire says, it's mine, I will bounce it.
Funny little byplay, Jared, a moment ago, wasn't it? Bickley charging at Brereton. Here's a high tackle on Butcher, but not paid. Bickley charging at Brereton, provider Shepherd and Dermott lining him up, and they all miss one another, which was good news for everybody. Krasiska's kick into the centre, taken by Rashudo, now in defence. 2-6 the Crows, 17-5 Collingwood. Rashudo out to Chalmers. Chalmers back on the ground. Rocket turned him inside out early. Moncourse underneath it. Good effort by Wellman. McLeod tapped it, taken by Richardson. He is playing his 100th tonight, Alan Richardson. He'll remember it for a long time. Paul Williams was magnificent early, a bit quieter since, but when it counted, he was there. Kicks it out wide, Brereton, Ingerson on him, out of play. So Robert Shaw's made a lot of changes. Ingerson on Brereton after he started in the ruck on Moncourse. Bickley picking up Williams. Now Robran off for the blood rule, and he'll be replaced by Tony McGuinness. You do wonder, I guess you've got to start Tony McGuinness somewhere, but you just wonder about his fitness tonight. I guess you take the gamble to play him. Stayed on the interchange for the first quarter when the damage was done.
I don't think Robert Shaw can be criticised for selecting him.
Just hasn't been able to get into it, has he? But geez, had a few mates. Chalmers. I mean, Gary Hocking had a very slow one when he started against Fremantle this year after injury. McDermott, well done. Ingerson to Ben Hart. Ben Hart runs away from Liddell, then centres. Good kick actually by Hart right there. Fly early by Collingwood, taken by Nigel Smart. Handball a bit slow. Butcher did it very well. Look at this rebound, it's fantastic. Brett James to Butcher to Brereton over the top, maybe to Buckley, I should say. Rowe was running. Now will Rocker lead? He waits, he sits, he goes now. Buckley decides against it. He's had 16 kicks, Buckley, after this one. He's got them left, right and centre. Now he decides to thump it 70 metres to the goal square. Rocker underneath it. Here's another one to Rowe. That's 18-5 to 2-6.
I'll tell you what, Robert, that person at Collingwood who shall remain nameless, who just questions the accuracy of Buckley's kick, should never say he's not a beautiful kick, because he's one of the longest kicks.
Well, I think that's his big plus, the fact that he puts the pressure back on the defence.
Yeah.
The kick was a beauty, but the roving by Brad Rowe.
I think he might be being a little bit harsh. Nathan Buckley sets a pretty high standard for himself as a kick. Well, keep an eye.
Maybe
Neil, what about Tony McGuinness? 18-5 to 2-6.
Yeah, no, he's not right. There's no question about that. He's got no drive in his leg power at all. That's his game, and it's a pity to see him out there struggling like he is.
Tregenza to full forward. Modra. Well played, Aaron Jones. Here's McGuinness. Let's hope he can kick a goal, the little captain. Round the body. He's done it. Now, 18-5 to 3-6. Curls, I've got to go back to you again.
Yeah, that was fantastic, but he's just not right, I can tell you now, because I've been watching him very closely, and you know, he'll get that little odd one, but he hasn't got the breakaway power that he normally has.
No, I was being a bit naughty there, Neil. You're right, 18-5 to 3-6. But can't they bite you on the bottom when you just say something?
I'm not sure about that, but they can catch you out occasionally, Bruce. Yeah, I agree with that.
the bounce back in the centre. Moncourse, too tall, too powerful. Knocked away by Rashudo, only as far as right. Wright's kick is well marked by Edwards. Like the look of him. Bickley. Kick across the top of Tregenza. The bounce is awkward. McGuinness is into the action again. Can't run away from Graham Wright. Now normally he would. Tregenza takes the hand pass and kicks short. Wellman, that's a push in the back, isn't it? against Watson. Well, I saw it that way. The Collingwood fans not happy, but the free kick is with Sean Wellman. He's probably too far out to score. We have another look there, and it's a blatant push in the back.
It's always amazing me the way players can never see it that way, though. Shane Watson was just astonished that the free kick was paid.
Wellman hand pass. McDermott standing still. Don't quite know whether that's an advantage. He's kicked to the forward line. Modra. A high kick. Monkhorst. Tackled by Smart. Didn't have the ball. Damien Monkhorst will take the free kick in the full-back area.
Rough. That was only a fumble from Damien Monkhorst. I would have declared him in possession of the ball.
Kicks across the full-back line to Krasiska.
Away with a couple of bounces, can take a third and a fourth if he likes. Probably a fifth, though he's drawn the player to him. Goes over the top, looking for Brereton. Ingerson held his ground pretty well, on the ground now. Then Ingerson thumps it away. Too far in the end, taken by Russell. Left-hand handball, gets it out wide to Watson. Watson sidesteps cleverly, goes to the big save. Not quite, to ground. Jamison, under pressure, round the body. Gets it out towards the boundary line. Rashuto in pursuit, gets hold of it, then breaks Buckley's tackle. Good handball to Anderson. Anderson away, gives it inboard to Jarman. Jarman stops and goes around right, then neatly kicks it to Wellman. Good footy, Jarman. He has been constructive. He's had a funny old night, Jarman. 11 kicks and 9 handballs. Been reported, gave away a 50, which Collingwood kicked a goal off. But the goals that Adelaide have got in this term, well, one of them anyway early to Wellman, and now another one to Wellman with an opportunity. So the Crows enjoying their best little passage of the night. Wellman from 50. It's right there, and it's a behind.
Dermot Brereton coming off again for Mark Richardson. Well, it's good and bad in the Wellman possession there, because his man Shane Watson was 100 yards away from him in attack for Collingwood. He only got it by himself because he wasn't putting enough defence on.
Kick in by Aaron James. Gatherers by Jarman. Handball to Ben Hart. Squeezes a kick towards full forward. At the back, nearly a mark to Modra. In dispute about 25 metres from the Adelaide goal. And umpire Rowan Saws, who is now the game's record holder as far as the umpires are concerned. Centre breaks much better for the Crows in the third term, 5-2. Oh, terrific leap there by Chalmers. Pesh struggling very, very hard. And the umpire again will bounce. This time it's only about 12 metres from the Crows' goal. 3-7 to 18 goals 5. Monkhorst, big fist. James, kicked by Wellman. Is that a goal? No, it came off his knee, according to the goal umpire. So Sean Wellman kicks his second behind for the game. Robert Shaw, gee, what would be going through his mind? Doesn't look all that rattled, but oh, you'd have to look rattled there if you're Lee Matthews. The kick in by Aaron James has been marked by McLeod. And McLeod surely will kick Adelaide's fourth goal.
Got some skill, this bloke, hasn't he?
Well, he made that look fairly simple. But let's hope he can make the goal kicking look simple. He's kicking from 25 metres. It's a very, very emphatic kick. It could have scored a goal. It has. Andrew McLeod gets his first goal. The Crows get their fourth, but they still trail dismally.
The Collingwood runner just out talking to James about his blue. Probably just saying, put it out of the mind now, get on with the business. There he is, Mark McKeown, one of the best fitness advisors in the business.
18-5, 4-8. Crows have kicked the last two goals in this extraordinary match. Smart away, then goes wide. Modra, that's better. That's his first mark for the night.
And that's his bread and butter, leading for those balls. It was a great kick and good work by Chalmers, who's just turned it around a little bit for them in the middle. Certainly as far as tap outs is concerned. But boy, I haven't seen Tony Modra lead more than twice tonight.
Kicked a goal off the ground at the 10-minute mark of the first term, and that one he floats there, not quite going to make it, off hands, and through from behind. It's fascinating to look at Lee Matthews a moment ago. I mean, everything has gone right tonight. He picked up the phone and you could just feel the blood pressure slightly rising. He's only 13 and a half goals in front. It's 18-5 to 4-9.
He's thinking of that percentage, Bruce.
I don't think James was prepared to go for the short one there. The long kick has been marked by Krasiska. Handball straight into the path of Russell. Didn't have to break stride. Handball wide to Graham Wright. Further forward to Buckley. Buckley gets past Tregenza. Kicks in towards half forward. Bickley for the Crows. Throws it on his boot. Only as far as Nathan Buckley. Nathan Buckley on the left foot gets 45 metres. To centre half forward, taken by Patterson. Unselfishly, perhaps could have kicked the ball. Russell fends off and then his right foot kick goes over for a throw-in. 50 metres from Collingwood's goal, Scott Russell. We believe Andrew Jarman reported in the second term for striking Scott Russell. Collingwood, look at the margin, 80 points. Tregenza, Andrew Jarman. Good attempt to tackle there by Richardson, but Jarman ran away from him. Kicked high in towards the centre. Punched away by Monkhorst. Graham Wright tried to make it for himself. Wasn't successful. Went after it, but well done there by Chalmers. To McLeod. In towards half forward. Good gather by Smart. Gets past Williams. Bickley. Krasiska. The ball held up at centre half forward for Adelaide, and the umpire will bounce. 18 goals 5 to 4 goals 9.
As statisticians just told me, Robert, Adelaide's lowest score ever, 4-7 against St Kilda in 1991 on a black day at Moorabbin, so they've gone past that. Buckley again, 18 kicks to centre half forward. Patterson caught by Anderson to ground. Liddell there with Anderson. Greg Anderson injured early in that 1990 grand final for Essendon. Went back to Adelaide. It's his 150th tonight. There's Alan McAllister, the president of the club, with Gubby Allen, who for about 3 days was on his way to Sydney this year, and now firmly back at Victoria Park. McDermott, he's a brave player, McDermott, just keeps trying. To Bickley, to Wright, now Hassel. Hassel and Buckley share one thing in common: they haven't missed a match since they started. Only going 2 seasons, Hassel, and Buckley 3, but it's been a pretty good start to their careers. Russell, back to Hassel, takes a man on, held up very well though by McDermott. Then Buckley goes long, underneath it Mark Richardson, plays on, steadies, and kicks Collingwood's 19th goal.
Well, that was one of the best kicks of the night. Buckley has just done a boomerang, check side for our Adelaide folk, and spotted a Mark Richardson. It was just a fantastic piece of football.
So 20 kicks, Jared,
Oh,
Nathan
he's had a
Buckley.
field day in this quarter. An absolute field day.
Well, an absolute bath here for the Crows. 19-5 Collingwood, 4-9 Adelaide. We've still got 4 minutes left in the third term. Attacking it fiercely was Richardson. Graham Wright, handball. Buckley, can he slip? No, Ben Hart. He can. Kicks in short. And getting into the action is Burns, who's just come onto the ground. Short pass in towards half forward. Goes past McGuinness. McDermott is there. Ingerson. Now Edwards. Little kick, not bad. And well done by Kluzek. Short kick, pretty ordinary. Able to find Jarman. McGuinness. Further right to Tregenza. Tregenza 2 bounces and a third. He's going to get run down. Gets the hand pass away. Pesh. Nigel Smart. Round onto his right foot. Passes across the half forward line and finds Chalmers 50 metres from goal. He's not a bad kick, Chalmers. So if he does steady, he can nearly kick this. Crows have added 3 goals, 4 so far in this third term. Brett Chalmers, good long kick, but in seeking the distance, lost the accuracy and has kicked just to behind. Dermot Brereton on the bench, interested onlooker. 19-5 plays 4-10, 2.5 minutes left in the third term.
Watson brings it back in, looks to Krasiska. Bickley there, well played, Krasiska. To Butcher, to Monkhorst. Caught, gives it out towards Russell and McLeod. He's got terrific skills, McLeod. It looked a low tackle actually by Russell. Now Williams. Richardson Rowe went very early. Edwards went in sympathy, I think they went together. Comes back, Rashuto, he struggled all night. Patterson will get onto it. Rowe, Shepherd was good. Ingerson did well to hold it up. It'll be a bounce about 40 metres from Collingwood's goal. They kicked 8 goals in the first quarter, 6 in the second, 5 so far in the third. Anthony Ingerson, very good against Fremantle in the ruck last week. Of course, Pittman injured and ran out for the season. Been a tremendous blow for the Crows. Richardson quickly to full forward, front spot, Jamison. And Rocker hasn't been beaten too often tonight. Now, time on call, Jamison told to kick over the mark. 119 Collingwood, 34 the Crows. Goes for distance, looks for Rashuto, outnumbered. Burns, who suffered from a virus during the week after missing last week with the same illness. Here's Buckley's had a sensational game. Look at that kick to Rocker. That is outstanding. It is absolutely top-notch. That check side before to Richardson was out of this world, and this is brilliant football.
Well, I'm going to have to go back to that high profile because he's having a shocker with that one.
He wouldn't want his name mentioned,
Well,
I don't think.
Buckley's had 22 kicks tonight and 3 handballs.
They've all been quality.
Rocker's kicked 8. Who's giving the best tonight? You or Gerard, you or Robbo? You are Robbo.
I've dropped off.
It's going to be tough.
Jared's responsibility.
Well, Big Sav. He's missed it.
I think Fred Fanning can rest easy, Robbo.
That must have been a sensational game of football when he kicked 18 goals in a game. The closest has been Dunstall, hasn't it? With about 16 or 17.
17 at Waverley Park. It was against Richmond, I think.
Strangely enough. He did have a pretty good run against the Tigers for a while.
So did Gary Ablett, but they're going to struggle from now on against the Tigers, I think. 19-6-4-10 in the dying minute of this third term.
McGuinness, little hand pass, look for McDermott. It was a bit awkward for Chris McDermott. Rashuto kicks it wide. There's seconds left. Graham Wright. If this kick can find a man, they may score again. It has. It's Mark Richardson, and it may be the last kick of the quarter. He goes in short, looks for Rocker, but chipping in is Rashuto, and the Crows will stand firm in the dying seconds of the third quarter. Rashuto's kick goes wide. Kluzek, hand pass, finds McGuinness, but the siren has sounded to end the third term. And things still not looking good for the Crows. Nathan Buckley's third term was quite magnificent. Monkhorst, a great captain's effort so far. Tony Modder has been quiet, but that scoreboard for Collingwood looks terrific. Not much for the Crows. 19-6 plays 4-10.
Adelaide certainly lifted their defensive skills a little bit. They came out and tackled a bit more desperately. They got the ball out of the centre better than they did in the first half, with Chalmers and Jarman getting a bit of the football. Jarman's now up over the 20 possession mark. There he is. But really, this is one of the sadder days in the short life of the Adelaide Crows. They're going to have to rebound. They've got a couple of very important weeks, but it's all positives now for the Pies. And here comes Lee Matthews. I'm sure his message will be just to really just give it your all in the last quarter, because percentage is going to play a very big part in the positioning in the final eight at the end of the year.
Three-quarter time, 86-point margin, 19-6 Collingwood, 4-10 Adelaide. 6-4-10, 120-34. Monkhorst goes. Chalmers in the ruck now for the Crows. They've tried a few there. Burns, who came on in the third quarter, to right to centre wing, or nearly by young Edwards. Rowe, little toe poke, had some momentum up, got away, good tackle. Kluzek hung on for a long time, out of play. Stopped Rowe in his tracks, had to do it. gave away that free against Brereton in the third quarter, which
Something like that earlier, with that sort of fierceness, wouldn't have gone astray. Very early in the game.
Ingerson and Richardson. Richardson got a fair bit of the footy in the third quarter. By the way, Buckley had 11 kicks in the third term. Around the body by Patterson. Connell, good mark. Real courage. He's had a quiet one there, Connell. It's been really his bye for the year, hasn't it? He's had such a consistent season. Went to half-back in the second quarter. Just 7 kicks, Connell. He's been averaging 18 in each of his matches. Handball out by Burns again. Little one by Patterson wide. Gets to Liddell. Half forward left. Centering kick. Rocker caught behind this time. Punched away by Jamison. Outnumbered Collingwood, but Williams clever. Goes back. Burns with a high ball. Sprays it hard underneath it. Good mark by Ben Hart. Plays on. Gets it to Jamison.
He's had a bit of a go, Ben Hart. He's been up against it. Jamison short kick finds Edwards. They're still in the full-back area, though, the Crows. Defending desperately. Edwards kick finds Rashudo. Rashudo, his 7th kick with 4 handballs. Goes towards the wing and knocked away from Pesh by Butcher. One of the key things is all the Collingwood defenders that have got lots and lots of possessions. Led by Hassel with 15 kicks and 6 handballs. Watson 12 and 5. Alan Richardson 11 and 4. They've set up a lot of attacks across that half-back line. Moncourse to the front. Russell further for Williams, tackled by Bickley. And the umpire will bounce pretty well on the wing, Members' side of the ground. No addition to the three-quarter time score as yet. Still early in the last quarter. Moncourse tries to knock it forward. McDermott for Jarman. A little bit of indecision there between Pesh and McGuinness. Buckley again, a thumping kick inside 50 metres. The ball spills wide. Running onto it, Williams. A flying shot at goal is a goal. Magnificent kick. Williams kicks his 2nd goal. Collingwood get their 20th. And the margin is 92 points.
Yeah, once again, the driving kick of Nathan Buckley featuring. It's been a highlight of the night. He's got a new opponent in Connell after perhaps giving Ben Hart a bit of a stitch-up in the third term. But that was just a fantastic goal in the corner. Isn't he a great goal kicker, this bloke?
Kicked 31 last year, Jared. And he's on the way this season. He's really emerged, hasn't he, Williams? 26 to 4 goals, 10. Bickley on the left. Collingwood fans screaming for a 100-point victory here. They're 92 in front. Smart back to Jarman. Jarman goes into full forward. James against Mondra. Out wide. Gets to Russell. Russell quickly on. Burns underneath it. He's got himself into the game in a hurry, hasn't he, Burns? Goes on to Watson. Watson up towards centre wing, taken by Mark Richardson. Mark Richardson with plenty of time, looks for Rowe. Edwards with him. Rowe held his ground pretty well. High tackle on Hassel. And holding him up is young Edwards again, the 18-year-old. So Collingwood tonight are playing 4 rookies. And the Crows have got Edwards and McLeod out there, a couple of their teenagers. Ingerson with Richardson. Light rain falling. Williams, still Williams, turns around, goes to Rocker, couldn't quite, went to ground. Jamison should claim him. Rocker gets it out. Orchard and Kluzak and a ball up.
Did everything right there, Severio Rocker, except hang on to the ball. Maybe just reaching and a little bit of dew.
So what, the kick wasn't bad either.
On the footy, Moncourse, ruck work. Exemplary. Brad Rowe gives away a bit of ground. Graham Wright from 50 metres. Graham Wright sets sails for home. Kick to the goal front. Rocker. Liddell. Ben Hart into the square. Jarman is defending that goal. Short kick by Andrew Jarman finds Rashudo. Rashudo gives it up. Graham Wright will run in. He may make them pay with this chance. Graham Wright, long kick, hooks it. Scores are behind.
Said at the start of the game that Mark Rasciuto's just form has fluctuated a little bit. When he's been up, he's been right up. When he's been down, he's had some pretty quiet ones. Here's the kid just warming up. Difficult to call a bloke that's 32 the kid, but that's what he's called.
He's been a terrific player and a great identity in AFL football, Dermot Brereton. Beautiful long kick in, but it'll come bouncing back, you would think, here. Nigel Smart, he's tried very, very hard all night. The numbers have been against him, but he's had 12 kicks and 7 handballs. One of the Crows' better players. Andrew Jarman, 13 and 11, is their leading possession gatherer. Chris McDermott, 13 and 10. Anderson, 10 and 3. McDermott striving hard once again, but not able to carry the ball away from that congestion. And Collingwood have made a change. Brereton is on. Quite notice who that player was at Collingwood. Richardson, Williams, Bickley, McDermott. Kick to half forward and a good mark taken by Wellman for the Crows.
Modra now leads. What's happening here? He's got to go back. Siska and Watson tending the mark now. Modra goes to the pocket. He's got it. Wellman gave him every chance. Modra led quickly. I think his timing was just out there, Modra, because he looked up at the big screen looking for the a relook at the mark and hadn't quite got up there. Kicked one goal.
Sure he wasn't looking at the flags.
From 40 metres. So bad luck for Modra. So 1-2 to Tony Modra. Yeah, no doubt he was. I was trying a funny one on, but he just struggled tonight, hasn't he? Kicked that goal off the ground early, but
there's a few of them have looked a little disinterested. I mean, if you're just not switched on, which is the way they look.
I'm sure he's done his best, but he was outclassed, unfortunately, by Kelly early.
Kick in brilliantly marked by Chris Siska. He's an underrated player. Hand pass away to Russell. Russell short kick. Gather is by Burns. Back onto his right foot. He gets good distance inside 50 metres. Brereton, one-handed, taken by Bickley. Short kick, not far enough. That wasn't a mark, was it? Patterson, his kick into the pocket. Brilliantly done by Williams. Gets around. Affects the kick. It is hooking, but not far enough. And is through for a behind kick by Paul Williams.
Really starting to get their renowned midfield strength back together. When you think that they've got both Gavin Brown and Tony Francis out of this side, it's if they can get them all back, and Mick McGuan.
Just make sure they're all fit. They'll have a pretty good lineup, won't they, come September. They've just got to win enough games to get in there. Mark Richardson knocks it to the front. Gatherers by McGuinness. The Crows go into attack through their captain.
Third bounce. Then goes long. Wellman and Modra back there for the Crows. James got a hand on it. Watson, Wellman's tackle. Going to be a bounce. About 15 metres from the Crows' goal. They're 4-11 to 20 goals 8 Collingwood. Crow fans here, well, they'll be disappointed. High hopes coming in tonight. Real chance at this game. Hassel's quick kick only back as far as McGuinness. Gee, won't he be better for the run, Tony McGuinness. 200th game next week. McDermott celebrates his 100th next week. Their two most famous sons, McDermott and McGuinness. He's kicking from 55, gets under it. Smart at the back and nobody really in the frame there for the Crows. And James, almost unopposed really, takes the mark. It's been the story a bit too often tonight. James out wide. At the back was Williams. Williams and Buckley, what great players they are, what midfielders they are for Collingwood. Oh, this is very special. Keep going, Paul. Held on to, free kick. Oh, he's exciting to watch, isn't he?
You know what I was waiting for? The little tap out to the path of Buckley.
He was trying, Robbo.
I think it would have been fantastic play, but as it was, Williams has got it on centre wing. He's being asked to play on now. Forced to kick high in the finish. Off the side of his boot a little bit. Crumbing is Graham Wright. Oh, he's close to the line, but he's able to keep it in.
Oh, it's just typical.
And then kicks towards centre half forward. Goes through Brereton, he's being held. Didn't have the footy. Brereton's free kick. Well, he burst onto the scene here at the MCG in a final many years ago. I think he was wearing number 47 in a Hawthorn Guernsey and kicked something like 6 goals, didn't he, in one of a final when he was only a teenager. And he's back here again as in his 30s. The kick's been marked by Rocker on the line.
Just got to go back and think, how the hell did Graham Wright get around those tackles to set up Brereton? Really did typify some of the performances of the Crows tonight.
The angle facing Rocker, going for his 9th goal. Runs around and kicks it through for a goal. 9 goals to the big full forward. That'd be nearly his best bag, Bruce, wouldn't it?
Equals his effort this season against Essendon. He got 10 here one day. I think he got 10 against Richmond on a Sunday.
Well, he's still got 11 minutes to get another one and perhaps 2 more. Good effort by Severio Rocker. 9 goals, 3.
Rocker's kicked 10 goals twice in a match. Before tonight, he's got 9 so far. He got 10 against Richmond and 10 against Footscray in 1993. That was his big year so far. Russell goes long. Could this be number 10? He's taken 12 marks already. Goes away. Handball by Kluzek. Gets it out to Connell. Wide handball was okay to Rasciuto. Well, that one the right couldn't cut off. Tregenza should use Connell, decided not to. 3 bounces, then uses Wellman, back to Tregenza. Tregenza will go short to Modra. He gets him. Good set up by the Crows. Modra goes in short, and Wellman takes the mark. About 35, 40 metres out. At a 70-degree angle, pretty tight. Well, Lee Matthews will be happy. He would have asked a lot of his players tonight, and they have delivered. Wellman from the pocket. This will take a terrific kick. Not bad, is it? It's right there and punched through by the defenders from behind. So Wellman's had a few behind. Well, that one off hand. So Wellman's had a goal in the 3rd quarter. A couple of points in the 3rd quarter. 21-8 to 4-12. What do you learn? I was just thinking then for Robert Shaw, Gerard. I mean, all hypothetical, but
Well, I was just thinking myself, Bruce,
Yeah,
it's going to be a real challenge for the Crows now to rebound and just have a, well, first of all, they're going to want to be competitive and then perhaps to pinch the game next week. Once again here in Melbourne. Against, well, they've got 2 quality sides coming up.
Scott Russell has played pretty well. Kick across his left shoulder to full forward. Nearly taken by Rocker. Gatherers by Jamison. Handball wide to Edwards. Edwards off his left foot. Good kick. Found Jarman on the wing. Being called to play on. He's kicking towards the centre. Over the top of Graham Wright. Gatherers by Wellman. Wellman off the right foot. Kicks it towards full forward. Well done, James. Aaron. Recovery not bad. Goes after McLeod. Little kick by Tregenza. McDermott for Chalmers. Chalmers kick. Smothered off the boot. Tregenza run down by Watson. He's lousy. That's Shane Watson. Pesh goes for goal and gets Adelaide's 5th goal. Nick Pesh kicks his 1st goal. Adelaide get their 5th and that scoreboard just looks terrible. 21-8 Collingwood, 5-12 the Crows.
Gerard, I was just butting in here. The key here is McLeod. The skill level, look at this. The handball, the difference here. Bang, to Pesh.
Well, it set him up for a good goal, but boy, it's been few and far between tonight.
5-12 Adelaide, 21-8 Collingwood. In the centre. Smart out of the middle. James and Modra bouncing ball. Didn't quite get there in the end. Richardson back there. Hassel. It's well done actually because he's running backwards and was able to get it out to James off the ground. Wobbles it away. Crows with numbers. But Collingwood with some fast feet from Williams. Rasciuto. And is that out of play? It is. He was in the AFL Team of the Year last year, Rasciuto. The only Crow player in his big year, so just struggling a bit. Richardson and Chalmers and back out of bounds. Collingwood at 21-8, 134. Adelaide at 5-12, 42. I think from Collingwood's point of view, there's just one more act to be played tonight that would set it up perfectly, would send them all home happily. Big Sav to kick number 10.
Actually, if he can get 2 more goals and
Get his record.
get his best ever goal-scoring performance. But Andrew Jarman's going to have something to say about it. Eventually falls out to Bickley. Bickley nearly run down. Got the kick towards full forward, pushing the back against Nigel Smart. Free kick will go to Chris Siska. And again, no matter what you trail by on the scoreboard, you quite wonder whether there's a lot of discipline, team discipline in something like that. Burns, he's got a player on his own. It's Paul Williams. He can go further forward. Beautiful little left foot kick. Gee, that showed a lot of skill. Not much pressure on him, but he still affected it perfectly. Graham Wright, kick towards full forward. Punched away there by Kluzek from Muckhorst. Graham Wright.
It's just unbelievable to think that a side that had so much to gain by a victory here tonight could perform as poorly as they have. And with Andrew Jarman facing the tribunal, the task of resurrecting themselves is going to be perhaps even more difficult.
Monkhorst standing up. Patterson's kick nearly marked by Orchard. Helped over by Rashudo. Made a contest of it. Craig Kelly with a wry smile on his face. Boundary throw in right forward pocket for Collingwood.
Walker in the action. Jamison. Official attendance tonight 32,800. Russell's high kick. Underneath it, Williams. Not quite. Orchard. Will he give it back to Williams? No, he'll kick it. Oh, well done, Jarman. He's had a lot of touches, Jarman, hasn't he? 15 kicks at 11 handballs.
He knows how to get the footy, there's no doubt about that.
Got it to Bickley. Bickley goes wide. Repeating that attendance, 32,858. Buckley very strong. Out of play. Well, Jamison, Robbo mentioned earlier, he was 25 today. It's his birthday, but nothing to celebrate. Outside 50 now. Buckley. Good pick up on the left foot. Watch for him to do something constructive. Brereton. He's hurt himself.
Just have a look at this one on the left. Doesn't seem to have any problems pinpointing this one. And what's Dermott done to himself?
So Brereton, he's kicked a couple. Goal in the opening term, one in the third. He's done a good job tonight. Again, he's played little cameo roles this season. An important player in the lineup. And the kid has got his third. He's doing a job, Gerard, isn't he?
Well, I think there's no doubt that Collingwood would be pretty pleased with his performance to date. It's got better as the season's gone on. And, well, hopefully if he can keep injury-free, he may figure once again in September where he's played his best football throughout his career.
Monkhorst is off and Brett James on for Collingwood. Monkhorst is having a spell on the bench, probably for the remaining 6 minutes of the game, and Brett James is back onto the ground. Burns getting another touch. He spent a lot of time on the bench. Kick lands at centre-half forward. Ingerson maybe run down. Brereton, good chase. Kluzek, hand pass. Chalmers, in goes Russell. Been pretty good, Scott Russell. 14 kicks and 14 handballs and has kicked a goal. Gets a pat on the head there from Paul Williams. Boundary throw in, 55 to 60 metres around from the Collingwood goal. Robran and Richardson. Down to Russell, gets past, left foot kick, not as far as Rocker, trying to get through, tackled there by Ben Hart, the Collingwood player. It might be Brett James, and just gets up holding his head. The umpire will bounce about 25 metres out from Collingwood's goal. Gee, they've been pretty good. They set it up in the first term. They kicked 8-1 to 1-2. Going to get another one here, Brad Rowe. It's a goal. Brad Rowe kicks his second. And in a goal-kicking spree at the MCG, Magpies 23-8. Lead Adelaide 5-12.
Well, Rocker good again then, wasn't he? Thumped it out. So the Maggies are over 100 points in front for the first time tonight.
And a good little snap goal there from Brad Rowe. He's a pretty important player for the Pies.
Back in the centre, 23-8, 5-12. A couple of hip and shoulders there. Smart went to ground. Kluzek's got hold of it at centre wing. Sweeps it out, back to Nigel Smart. Tries to get around.
I've just got a feeling Paul Williams may have damaged his arm or his wrist. Oh, he's got his wrist heavily bandaged. He's obviously got a bit of a problem there, and it's just been aggravated.
Collingwood's highest score against Adelaide is 23-22. They're a bit short of that, 23-8. And their greatest winning margins at 123 points. They're at 104 at the moment, so you think Adelaide might just be safe from those. McLeod's kick gives Mondra a bit of a run at it. Off the ground, it's a behind. 5-13 the Crows. 23 goals, 8 Collingwood. Hate to be running these stats by you, but it's just one of those matches, and I think the Crows...
Tell you what,
it's a big kick. He's shown me that he can certainly kick a ball at Aaron James, and since he's come on and played down there in the full-back line. He's a little erratic, but he's got a lot of ability.
He's got those long arms. He plays football like a basketball. He's always using his palming to his teammates' ability. He's got some skill.
Well, his kick in again just falls a little short of the previous one. Russell couldn't gather it. Robran, hand pass, Tregenza. Tregenza's kick in the Jarman direction. Over the top of that player's head. Connell into goal, does it nicely and kicks the goal for the Crows. Matthew Connell getting a late goal for the Crows. It's their 6th. So at least they get it down under the 100-point margin, albeit temporarily.
A rare mistake there by the Pies, who just allowed the Crows to turn one over. And Connell, well, I think he's allowed to have a quiet game. He's had a fantastic year for the Crows this year. He's been embarrassed, but hasn't been his best.
97 points, 23-8, 6-13. Matt Connell with his first goal of the game. Anderson's had a quiet one. Richardson, Mark Richardson, Krasiska smothered off the boot by Rodram. Back to Anderson. A quick kick to half forward. Hassel's had a great game. Jarman normally very, very good. Off the boot, just a hook. You'll be disappointed, Jarman, with that. Sized it up. 16 kicks, 11 handballs, Jarman. 23-8, 6-14, so we're back to a 16-goal game as James thumps it out wide. Krasiska the target. Bickley at the back. Goes to ground. Hassel falls over. Punches it forward cleverly. Mark Richardson gets a high tackle.
Hasn't John Hassel had a brilliant game today? Just particularly in the first half when the game was there to be won, he was brilliant.
Richardson goes wide. Looking in the Williams direction. Anderson getting back. And I think Williams a bit disappointed that Richardson didn't get it on a bit quicker. It's Greg Anderson, 11 kicks, 3 handballs, but hasn't had any impact.
Boundary throw in, centre wing, outer side. Robran, Richardson gets his hands on it. Down to Williams. Back to Buckley. Buckley good in that position. Gets 45 metres towards the 50-metre line. Brad Rowe and young Edwards. And the boundary umpire will throw it in. 50 metres from Collingwood's goal. Gee, the other thing they've done well, Collingwood has kicked accurately. I suppose if you keep the ball in the middle or in front of the goals, it makes goal scoring a lot easier. McGuinness kicks it back to a vacant wing area. Back goes Buckley. Wellman and Liddell and the Collingwood fans screaming for a free kick. Gee, they're keen. Bobby Rose, what a champion player he was in the black and white.
I think they may have been trying to draw parallels between that one and the one against Fitzroy last week.
Anyway, I don't think it matters much. Connell will get another possession. Back onto his right foot, kicks in towards half forward. Andrew Jarman, well done. Good mark under pressure. Hand pass. McGuinness may get a goal. Tony McGuinness usually mops these up. Looks pretty good. Good kick by McGuinness, a goal.
Well done to Andrew Jarman, who hasn't had his best game, but he's still got plenty of the football. He was just on a player that was all explosive in the first quarter, in Paul Williams. And he's gone forward and still kept trying, and still been one of the Crows' better players.
4-2 to 3-4 the last quarter. Favour of Collingwood. Good to see McGuinness back with a couple of goals. Rodman wins the tap, so the Crows still going. Tregenza, Liddell. 2.5 minutes remaining. Liddell at about 50. Ingerson is against Brereton, comes down. Quick kick by Patterson. Brett James in the goods position. Held his ground pretty well. Well played, Ben Hart. Comes away, goes long. Jarman, who's had 28 possessions. Make that now 29 disposals. Neat kick. Well done, Liddell. Because Wellman used the body pretty well. There's a bit of freakishness about Liddell every now and then, isn't there?
Well, he started the season with a bit of a bang, then had a quiet patch. In the last couple of weeks, he's really shown that he's going to be a very good quality AFL footballer.
Tregenza. Butcher. Great mark, Butcher.
Hang the Butcher.
Then squares it, Buckley. Jarman to try and hold him up. Buckley's little handball. Butcher kicked it off mid-air, back to Tregenza.
Tregenza may rebound here successfully for the Crows. No, great leap. We spoke about his athleticism.
He's got
Aaron James, that's exactly right. Hassel goes down the ground from the back line. Can he outrun? Yes, he can. McLeod shrugs the tackle, backed himself, then kicks down the ground. As he flattened after he kicked it? It's a free kick down the ground to Dermot Brereton against Andrew Jarman by the look of it. Brereton goes short. Well done. Unselfish. Good kick. And Rocker will kick for his 10th goal. A minute left. And he's kicked so beautifully tonight. 9 goals, 3.
written the script, Bruce.
Come on, Robbo. Saul him home, son.
I think it's a certainty. 10 goals coming up for Rocker. Beautiful kick straight through the centre. Well, now one wonders whether Collingwood could make the break from the centre and give him a chance to get his 11th. He's equalled his best goal-kicking performance for the Magpies. He's kicked 10 on 2 previous occasions.
It's a pretty good mark from Chad Liddell, probably his best one in AFL football to date. He's got plenty more of those coming. And a pretty good hanger there from the Butcher, just off the one step. And it's all happening for the Pies.
Well, they want one more. They lead by 96 points. And Sav's sitting on 10. But Jarman out of the centre. He's had a big last quarter to fall forward. Modra couldn't quite. James, good tackle. McLeod. Crows still with it now. Richardson. Clock will tick away. Can Collingwood get it down there? They'll go berserk when they kick another one. They may run out of time. Butcher, right. Good man to have it in this situation. They've got to move it quickly. Everything's got to happen perfectly for them here. Rodman gives it back to Rashudo. No, it won't now. Bickley away. And Bickley goes to half forward. Getting back there, Liddell. And gets hold of the footy now to James. And the siren will sound in a moment. To beat Sav. Brereton kicked 3. And when you consider that Collingwood this year has beaten Sydney, Fremantle, Fitzroy, St Kilda only, this is their first really big win of the season.